Change means to me having to sacrifice something that looked normal, something I was pleased to do the rest of my life, because I had a fear that if I had changed this, I would probably lose friends, lose people, lose society. It's you opening up to a new transition of life. I made a decision that fear is a sin. Fear is friends with failure. And every time I feel like I'm fearing, I know that's my time to change something within my life. So how do I make change? I firstly invest in myself, and from what I invest in myself, I can be able to impart in other young people's lives. I believe in young people, I believe in Africa, I believe in the world, I believe in the future. And for me, how I invest in myself is I get to read a lot of books, I get to go into depth and find out different sides of the stories and look out for the need to get the solution. The reason you see your poverty around you is so that you can be inspired to rise and say, I will not be forever in this situation. And I believe that if you're in a poor state right now, that's a stepping stone of a story that will change the next generation. Poor is a mindset, and we need to defeat it as a society, starting with the power of the mind. With the cancer, being a very young person, coming from a background where I was told that if you had cancer, you were to die, and being able to have doctors that were telling me I was going to die in 6 days, that's the point where it's either I had to accept or it's either I had to overcome it. I had to start from my mind and decide that I will live and not die. Our adversaries and challenges are not because we are losing or we are falling behind, but rather it is how we overcame that we want to see. So we can say at the end of the time, I fought the good fight of faith. At age 16, I started an organization to build young people. Over the years, we've been able to inspire young people from different schools, different orphanages, to a point where it established from one city to the next city. Now it's over in 5 countries in Africa, and it's growing, launching in other 2 countries very soon. And we've been able to impact over 50,000 lives just in the past 3 years. Sometimes even people that you've never met. That's been the uniqueness of this type of success. We deal with young people who have backgrounds that are not happy, some of them are founded within poverty, some of them are founded within hunger, some of them are founded within inequalities, some of them end up going to gang groups, some of them end up hustling in a very young age, looking for help, some of them end up holding all the hatred. Let me talk about young boys specifically. Some of them grow up in a family where the father is not there, or where the father is passed on, or the father is drinking, and they end up taking that role of the father. And eventually they lose their youthfulness and they take up in all the steps. So some of them get this anger and they keep it within them, which produces a 25-year-old that end up abusing other women, not because he's an abuser, but the anger, the seeds of anger that grew up with him ends up developing and ends up overflowing within his life. We've been able to uneducate them, remove them from however they're thinking, deal with the situation, talk to them, get them to cry and talk to us about these situations. We've been able to get them not just only to inspire to be doctors, but to move out of a box and think larger. Maybe some of them want to start a business. We've learned to use entrepreneurial skills. We've been able to do mind management talks, academic excellence, help them with their schoolwork. We've been able to impact them so they can go impact other lives. We've been able to help them go back to school, some of them. We've been able to help them supply for their families by bringing their families on board, and we get the whole family to change and think in a different way, and that changes the background itself. And it's been a huge success, because from what we've done is we've had other countries that we are contacted with impacting other countries that we've not even had in our list yet. And that's been the power of the impact, and making sure that after impacting that life, we don't leave it behind, but we take it with us to impact someone else's life with their story. It's you discovering your story so you can tell someone else, so someone else can discover their story so they can tell someone else.